I've decided to call this Autism Speaks as a Hate Group. It made sense to me when I read that autistic people like me wear emotional masks, trying to pretend to be like the people around them. Pretending to fit in, taking fake it till you make it in a predictably, disastrously literal way. But it's hard to learn that it's impossible. Even if you get the masks right, copying the behaviors of those around you, warping and twisting yourself so that maybe, just fucking maybe, this time you'll be accepted, it isn't enough. Because that isn't you. They don't like you. They don't even know the real you. At best, you're only liked for a character you're playing. Usually, you're merely tolerated until you're too inconvenient, too weird, too much. You stop getting invited to things. People don't show up, and too late you realize their offers of social engagement were never, ever meant to be taken seriously. The things you said in earnest, they only meant out of a misguided sense of politeness, a lack of boundaries, and not wanting to upset you. Eventually, your life becomes a littered mess of the relics of your attempt to build a life with other people, the scattered detritus of the masks you've worn, artifacts of lives you'd hoped for, artifacts of lives you'd worked for, strived for, a life where you belonged, where you were not tolerated, but mattered as much to them as they did to you. Now, though, they're just reminders of your failures, reminders of how you do not belong. You can't talk about it. Nobody takes you seriously. Not even those you've helped and supported and cared about and empowered. You're doing reasonably well, they tell you. You don't look autistic. You've got a bunch of privilege. Why are you complaining? What about everyone else's needs, you selfish prick? People are dying elsewhere and you're whining about being lonely and feeling rejected? You can't help it, though. You got pattern recognition in the TISM lottery, and you've seen this pattern over and over again since you were a kid. You literally cannot ignore it. The best you can do is distract yourself with whatever you can find, no matter how unhealthy it might be. It doesn't work. It never works. It isn't the real thing. Just be yourself, the few who still tolerate you say, but you don't know who that is anymore. If there was someone there, it's been distorted so much by the masks that you don't know what its original shape was. And anything that might be there are the bits that always are what's wrong with you. And that's it. You might as well be the subject of a melancholy indie art film, banal or banal and unoriginal, striving for some sort of meaning, some kind of point, and utterly, completely failing. There isn't a resolution. There's not a way to make it better. There's not a moment where there's some superficial makeover, taking off your glasses, a quick glow up, gives you a happy, satisfying ending. There's just an arbitrary end. Thank you.